Okay, so I have one of these Samsung washers, also known as the exploding washer, and I've seen a couple videos on YouTube of how these things make a grinding noise when agitating, and I think I have a handle on what's going on here. So I have the belt off and the guard off of this transmission already, and I've already put a screwdriver in the hole and used the screwdriver as a brace through the hole against one of these bolts, so I could put a 15mm wrench on this nut, which is really tight, to be able to break it loose and get it off. So it's only on hand tight right now, so I'll take that off. See if I can make this happen here. There's a lock washer and a flat washer there too. Take those off. So you're left with that. And there's a shifter motor here that pulls a cable, and it pulls the cable to shift the unit from agitate to engage the spin drive. So there's a little cam with teeth in here, and so what happens is when the pulley's on there, turn this, you hear that noise? If you have one of these washers that makes that noise only when it's agitating, kind of sounds like that. What's happening is, I believe, this arm, when pulled this way, causes this to engage, to spin, and when it's released, it's allowed to go to free up, to agitate. And it's against a return spring that you're pulling in order to go into the spin cycle. The return spring pushes things back to just to agitate. So when that return spring pushes back, this lever goes back, lifting this lever up, which pushes this fork that way. I'll take this off so you can see it. And that's in order to disengage those teeth from those plastic teeth there. Now what I think has happened is either this plastic arm has warped from tension over time and is not fully pushing this assembly up. So what happens is these teeth are rubbing on the teeth on this part when it's agitating to make the grinding noise. Now with that part out, if I turn this, no noise. Okay? So either the surface here that pushes this out of the way is worn down, or the arm is warped. So I'm going to see what I can do about it to give this thing a little bit more push that way. And I think maybe the easiest way to do that would be to put something in between this arm and this arm. See if there were a little spacer in between there, then that would push this thing more that way. And it needs to have more nuts to do that. There's some slack in this cable, so another way to do it might be to grind the stop surface down on this finger so that when it goes against the housing to stop, it can go a little further and thereby push this arm a little bit more that way to keep these two splines from rubbing against each other when you want it to agitate and not spin. So I'm going to play with that a little bit and do a little bit of modification and see if I can't save this this clutch assembly, which is $220 from Samsung, and that sort of makes it a little impractical to fix this thing. So the model number of this is on the back, so I'm going to let this cart down. So maybe I can get in here and show you the model number. Sorry if it's upside down. It's a WA40J3000AW/A2 Samsung, also known as the exploding washer. So we'll see. Other than that, the machine works fine. It just makes this annoying grinding sound bzz, 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 when it's agitating. Spin cycle is completely quiet, because once these splines fully engage for spin, there's nothing to chatter, and then you're okay. So hopefully that helps somebody out. Maybe what I'll do is post a follow-up video and see if we can't show you this thing successfully working.